I've shared my screen. So as we were discussing the topic of sociology with other social sciences, so today we will discuss the relationship of sociology with psychology. So again, there is a repetition of the definition as we have learned what is sociology. So they are again telling you that what is sociology is a science of society, but and in his sense it's closely related to other social sciences, so as also with psychology. Sociology and psychology are very closely interlinked, interrelated, and interdependent. Relationship between the two is so close and intimate that psychologists like Carl Pearson refuses to accept both as special science. Both depend on each other for their own comprehension. The relationship will be clear if we analyze their interrelationship and mutual dependency. So that is the same definition we talk about every time when we compare sociology with any kind of other sciences. Sociology is a science of social phenomena and social relationship. It's a science of social group and social institutions. It's a science of collective behavior. It studies human behavior in groups, but psychology is a science of mind or mental processes. So, you know, they are just trying to tell that how it is related with the psychology. So, when we study community, when we study society, when we study family, when we study what were the rituals, so exactly we study the behavior of human being. And when we study the behavior of a human being, simply we are discussing their mind or the mental processes, and that is what exactly it is psychology. If we try to understand what is psychology, psychology means when we try to read, when try to understand, basically not read, when you try to understand the behavior of a person mentally, because whatever it comes into your mind, this is what you would depict into your behavior, your ethics, your behavior, as it has said that whatever you do through your body language, that will be guided by your mind. So study of this is called as psychology, and this is how they are interrelating it. That in societies, if someone was cruel or someone was very benevolent, so that was due to their psychology. So that is how they are trying to correlate it. It's a science of human behavior. It analyzes attitudes, emotions, perceptions, process of learning and values of individuals, and process of personality formation in society. So as I've told you the same thing, they said that what is psychology? We try to study the attitude of a person, what kind of person he was. When we study history, when you talk about if I give you the example of history of Punjab, when you try to give examples of the different kings, those who ruled Punjab, so we try to understand their attitude as well, that how they were behaving. Like, we cannot compare Maharaja Ranjit Singh's attitude with his successors, so that is how they have lost. So this is how they are saying it. When we read the attitudes and how they were behaving, that is somehow a psychology. And when we discuss these things, it is actually making the society. This is the formation of society. In the words of Thaler, psychology is the positive science of human experience and behavior. But both the sciences are closely related to each other, which can be known from the following. Sociology receives help from psychology. Psychology is part of sociology, hence, without the help from psychology, sociology can't understand it fully and properly. There are many psychologists like Freud, McDougall, and others who have enriched sociology in many respects. The opinion that the whole social life could be reduced finally to psychological forces. Each and every social problem and social phenomena must have a psychological basis, for the solution of which sociology requires the help from psychology. So this is what they are trying to say, as I've given you the example of people are living into the same society. If uh, people in India were favoring, like there were few people those who were favoring, like caste system or the sati prathas, these kind of the customs. Raja Ram Mohan Rai, who was also the part of society, Indian society, and he was against to it, and he has played a very important role to eradicate these kind of social evils from the society. So that is what a human behavior. So this is what they're trying to say. This is how we correlate sociology and psychology. A new branch of knowledge has developed with the combination of sociology and psychology, which is known as social psychology. Similarly, psychology depends on sociology to comprehend itself fully. Psychology also requires help from sociology in many cases, as human mind and personality is being influenced by social environment, culture, customs, and traditions. Hence, psychology take the help from sociology to understand this. So, when psychologists they examine or they research something, they would also try to read this thing, that why this person was influenced so much. We heard a lot of time about mind wash, these kind of words. So what is that? The person was among the members of the society, those who influenced so much to him, to his mind or her mind, so that that person has acted in that way. Okay, so that is how they are trying to tell, they are both interrelated, sociology and psychology. When psychologists they try to understand that why this has happened, what was the reason, when they come on to a research, they also see what kind of a social environment was there, what kind of a culture of that person was, what is a custom and a tradition they are following. Every we are living in a society where we do have a lot of different religions, a lot of customs, traditions we follow. So that is impact on our mind. We make religions. You think of, if there's a small child or a newborn child or a 6 months, 1 year old child, if he has born in some family and if some other family would adopt him, so when he grew up, he'll have the impact of the family where he grew up, not the family where he has born. So because of that impact, his mind is like that, that he would start following that particular religion, following that customs. He will adopt that. This is my, tradition that I should follow. So that is how these things it comes out. So when so psychologists, when they study these things, they also try to see these things. What kind of environment was persons, and where he has lived, what kind of a traditions, what kind of a customs he or she was following. So with the help of this, they would come on to the conclusion that this could be a major reason of something. So that is why they are interrelated. To understand human nature and behavior properly, psychology depends on sociology. There are many psychological problems which must have a social cause, right? We call it as traumas. As I've told you that, there was a social evil, that was sati pratha, then, when it is abolished, now there are lot many things which it has come. Like human being, we can say that we are born as a human. It'll be very hard for a person to understand what is caste system. Kids, they don't understand. For them, every human being is a human being. They play with everybody. We live in the society and we put that into the mind of a kid, that caste system is prevailed. He is from this caste or she is from this caste. So what is this? The kid is truly a innocent soul, but living into the society, we are the one as a society who put those things into the mind of children, that you belong to this caste. So that is how this could be a reason of a social cause. Psychology requires the help from sociology to understand these social problems. Research in sociology richly contributes to psychology. Contributions and theories of many sociologists also are of great help to psychologists. So they're trying to tell that, it's quite interrelated. When we study sociology, we also try to read the mental processes of that particular society or the persons, those who are living into that society. And when psychology would like to examine something, they will also see the contribution of the environment of that person, what are the social contribution of that person. That's why probably the person was behaving in such a way. Like this is, you generally must have listen to it कि अगर किसी को हम लोग डांटते हैं या बोलते हैं इसके मैनर्स अच्छे नहीं है तो हम उस पर सिंपली एक ही इल्जाम लगाते हैं कि तुम्हारे घर में ऐसा ही बिहेवियर चलता होगा, तुम्हारे माँ बाप ने, तुम्हारे पेरेंट्स ने तुम्हें कुछ नहीं सिखाया. So what it is a simple example that where in which the society you are living, you are being taught with those processes. Because that is how you are behaving. You are giving the same feedback when you behave. So that is how psychology and sociology they are interrelated. Thus, sociology and psychology are mutually dependent on each other. One can't comprehend itself without the help from others. Besides, there are some common area of study such as social disorganization, public opinion, etc., which are being studied by both sociologists and psychologists. Social psychology, a branch of psychology, is developed with the combination of the two. In the words of Critch and Crossfield, social psychology is the science of behavior in the individuals in the society. So same thing they're trying to repeat over here. What they have said that they try to tell you this thing that these psychologists or these sociologists, those who actually contribute, those who have contributed into their fields, they also believe that both of the sciences are interdependent, and if one need to study one of the science, he or she needs to take the support from the other science to understand it fully. Before I go on to what do you call differences, would you please tell me, do you have got any of the problem in that? Is it clear to you, understanding of sociology and psychology, how they are interdependent? Because differences would be very simple. We know that both are the different branches and there will be points I would discuss. But I just want to know first of all from you that is it clear to you ये दोनों के बीच में जो रिलेशन है वो आप लोगों को क्लियर हो गया कि हाँ हम समझ सकते हैं, अगर क्वेश्चन आएगा हमें तो हम लिख सकते हैं कि देखो ये लॉन्ग में आपको सिंपली ऐसे भी आ सकता है, डिस्कस दी रिलेशनशिप ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी विद अदर सोशल साइंसेस, या फिर आपको ऐसे भी आ सकता है डिस्कस दी रिलेशनशिप ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी विद, आपको दो एक किसी भी साइंस के साथ रिलेट करने के लिए बोला जा सकता है. फॉर एग्जांपल हिस्ट्री, इकोनॉमिक्स, साइकोलॉजी, पॉलिटिकल साइंस, किसी के साथ ये जो 4-5 मेन सोशल साइंसेस हैं इनके साथ इसको जोड़कर आपको क्वेश्चन जो है वो पूछा जा सकता है. So now you tell me that do you have got any question या फिर मैं further जो इनके differences हैं वो discuss करूँ. Is it clear up to now? Yes students, क्या clear है आपको differences? Oh sorry, इनकी interdependence. Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's move on to the differences. However, in spite of the mutual relationship and dependence, both the sciences differ from each other in the following ways. Sociology is a science of society, but psychology is a science of mind. So that is the basic first difference. We know this thing. जब हम sociology को discuss करते हैं, we are discussing about society, and when we discuss about psychology, we discuss about the human mind. Scope of sociology is wide, whereas scope of psychology is limited. Society is a unit of study in sociology, but individual is the unit of study in the case of psychology. The same thing we have discussed. We take society as a unit, and here they take man as a unit. Sociology studies social processes, whereas psychology studies mental processes. So जो sociology है वो जो social process हैं, जितनी भी changes, social changes होती हैं, social movements होती हैं, उनको discuss करने की कोशिश करते हैं, whereas जो psychology है आपकी वो मेंटल प्रोसेसेस को डिस्कस करती है. सॉरी, साइकोलॉजी. यस. Sociology studies and analyzes human behavior from sociological angle, whereas psychology studies and analyzes human behavior from psychological angle. So this is something they talk about. So these are the differences of sociology and psychology. Now there's the last one I think which is left, that is called as anthropology. The first one is quite similar. What is sociology? And uh, we need to compare it with anthropology. So, what it is, let's see. Sociology, we know this thing, so they're just trying, let's come up to anthropology. They're saying similarly as the sociological term or sociology, it has come. The term anthropology is also derived from two Greek words, anthropos, meaning man, and logos, meaning study or science. Just hold on for a second. I will go. Anthropology is derived from two Greek words, anthropos meaning man and logos meaning study or science. Accordingly, anthropology means study of man. As a science of man, it deals with man, his work, his behavior. Anthropology studies the biological and cultural development of a man. Anthropology has a wide field of study which can be broadly divided into three main divisions, such as physical anthropology, archaeological, or the cultural anthropology, and social anthropology. So, physical anthropology studies bodily characteristics of early man and thereby try to understand both primitive and modern culture. So, somehow this is also related to psychology. We can say that, but it's a broader aspect because they have said that the anthropology study is divided into broadly three main categories: physical anthropology, archaeological or cultural anthropology, and social anthropology. So this is something, a study of a man from three different aspects. From physical point of view, what is the development? From archaeological means the what do you call the buildings they have in the past they have built. They would also study the same. They would see the culture of at that time, and they would also say what kind of society at that time was prevailing. So they discuss in detail all these areas. This is called as anthropology. And archaeology studies cultures of prehistoric period. This study facilitates sociologists to make a comparative study of present social structure. Like when we study about, for example, Indus Valley civilization, जिसको सिंधु घाटी की सभ्यता भी बोला जाता है. So we try to understand, their societies, their archaeology, what kind of buildings were present at the time, what they were, how they were living, kind of society, religion. So we try to study everything to compare the present social structure. That is how we say that, sometimes people claim, in the when they dig and they research the Indus Valley civilization, they found the statues of Lord Shiva. So that is how they are trying to tell that, that is why it is called as, Sindhu Ghati, or they have said that Hindu Ghati. So means Hindu religion was also prevailed at that time. It is concerned with the early periods of human existence. It reconstructs the origin, spread, and evolution of culture by examining the remains of past societies. So they try to see how this, has evolutionized, like how we have come up to today. It reconstructs the origin, spread, and evolution of culture by examining the remains of the past societies. Social anthropology deals with the behavior of man in social institutions. Social anthropology and sociology are one and the same. Even Pritchard consider social anthropology as a branch of sociology. Yeah, this is very, very close. They have said that that is how they are saying. We can say this thing that. However, there exists a very close and intimate relationship between sociology and anthropology. Both contribute to the growth of others. Both are mutually related to each other. Of course, sociology studies society, whereas anthropology studies man. But as man and society are mutually interrelated, hence it is very difficult to distinguish two. However, the close relationship can be known from the following. So again, they try to write a one paragraph where they talk about that it's very important and to talk about that yes, sociology and anthropologies are quite closer because we study man, we study sociology, so it's quite interdependent. Anthropology contributes to the growth of sociology. Without the help of anthropology, the study of sociology can't be complete. It is part of sociology. Anthropology provides knowledge about ancient societies. So anthropology means we don't study present, we study past. Past from these different point of view, as we have discussed, from the buildings point of view, from the culture point of view, from the societal point of view, all these things. To have a comprehensive understanding of present society, sociology takes the help of anthropology. Contributions of many anthropologists like R. Brown, Linton, Mead, and Richard enriches sociological knowledge. The origin of family, marriage, religion, etc., can be better understood through anthropological knowledge. They're saying, like, if you need to understand the society, these are units of, society, family, the institution of marriage, religion. So if you want to understand it completely, you can better understand if you read it or research it from the anthropological point of view. The concepts like cultural area, cultural traits, cultural lag, etc. Sociology accepts from anthropology. So these all terms they have said that it actually comes from the anthropology. Sociology accepts the anthropological conclusion that racial superiority is not responsible for mental development. Thus, sociology is greatly benefited by anthropological studies. So, this is what they have said that like it is greatly accepted in the conclusion that anthropological conclusion that the racial spirit is not responsible for mental development. So, if someone's mental, we talk about someone's mental development, we cannot say this thing that is because of the race, caste, or something like that. So it helps when you study anthropology. Similarly, sociology contributes richly towards the growth of anthropology. Anthropology accepts many concepts of sociology. Research and contribution of many sociologists like Emily Durkheim, Herbert Spencer is of great help to anthropology. Anthropologists greatly benefited by the sociological researches, ideas and conclusions of society और sorry sociology contributes to the research in anthropology. तो दूसरे तरीके से बोल रहे हैं कि ये जो sociology है इसने भी काफ़ी हेल्प की है anthropologist को उनका काम समझने के लिए क्योंकि society में अगर हम sociology को साथ लेके चलते हैं तो it will be very easy for you to understand the system of that time. Thus, there exists a great deal of relationship between sociology and anthropology. Both study human society and both are concerned with all kinds of social groups like families, friends, tribes, etc. Many of the ideas and concepts are used in both the discipline, hence both are interrelated and interdependent, but in spite of the interrelationship, both differ from each other. तो थोड़ी वो differences की बात बताने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि दोनों इकट्ठे हैं लेकिन कुछ differences भी इनमें पाए जाते हैं. Sociology is a science of society, whereas anthropology is science of man and his behavior. The scope of sociology is very wide, whereas the scope of anthropology is very limited because anthropology is part of sociology. Sociology studies society as a whole, whereas anthropology studies man as a part of a society. Sociology studies civilizations, which are vast and dynamic. On the other hand, anthropology studies cultures, which are small and static. Sociology studies modern, civilized and complex societies, whereas anthropology studies ancient and non-literate societies, only the past one. Sociology is concerned with social planning, whereas anthropology is not concerned with social planning. On the basis of social planning, sociology makes suggestion for future, but anthropology do not make any suggestion for future. In the words of Flacon, the sociological attitude has tended towards the practical and present, the anthropological towards pure understanding of the past. So, with this, they are trying to tell that anthropology is somehow related to past only, but in sociology, we try to understand how was the system in the past, and we try to improve our present and future. So that is the end of our today's lecture, where we studied two of the social sciences. One is psychology, one is anthropology in relation with sociology. Thank you so much. अब मैं, अगर आपके कोई क्वेश्चंस हैं वो आप अपने जो क्वेश्चंस हैं मुझसे पूछ सकते हैं. इन द मीन टाइम आई वुड stop recording so that pure lecture can be recorded.
Excuse me, sir.